I'm not a social scientist or a data scientist. Neither am I an anthropologist or an apologist for that matter. I am just a history buff, trying to see history without the fluff, trying to connect the dots. I am holding up the mirror. Here is my unfiltered take, and a rather generous and an optimistic take. The year is 2125, a century later. The US has gone from a constitutional republic to a banana and a flipped burger republic completely. I bet you can see the signs today. Marcus Cicero, who was a statesman in the Roman Empire, in the twilight years of the Roman Empire, he had said, the closer the collapse of an empire, the crazier its laws. So I'm going to just paint a scenario. The aftermath of World War III, tariff wars, the prolonged period of recession, devastating effects of climate change, nuclear fallout and devastation, pandemic, a systematic and a relentless brain drain that undermined and sucked the creative and innovative juices of, oh, America the Beautiful. The US is kind of like Mad Max, the Fury Road, a desolate landscape, an apocalyptic world. It's kind of like the Planet of the Apes scenario. The 14th century Italian poet Dante Alighieri, he had written a poem, The Divine Comedy. And this is a journey through the afterlife. And it comprises three parts: Inferno, which is hell; Purgatorio, which is the purgatory; and Paradiso, heaven, or the promised land, if you will. So it is this intermittent period of civil war. The US is rudderless, and there has been an utter loss of identity and national purpose. A nation fighting for its soul. There have been self-inflicted wounds, and it did not have to be this way. So I took a look at two historical examples as to why this is not just an imaginary scenario, but a horrifying possibility. Unless, of course, if we reverse the course. So my first example is the decline and the fall of the Roman Empire. And there were many factors, political, economic, social, but I'm just highlighting a few of the factors that led to the decline and the fall of the Roman Empire. One was ineffective governance and massive corruption. There was economic instability, high taxation, inflation, and trade disruptions. And there was, of course, overspending on the military. And there were social factors like inequality, disease, and population decline. There was disruption of the trade routes. So this constant wars depleted the imperial coffer. And as a result, a decline was set in process. The more recent example that I looked at is the fall and decline of the British Empire. Again, many factors, but one of the key reasons was the economic strain of two world wars, the rise of nationalism in the colonies, and the emergence of new global powers like the United States and the Soviet Union. But the common thread running through both the empires is wars, mass inequality, pandemics, climate change. So, America the Beautiful is in a deep slumber, like Rip Van Winkle. But all is not lost. The bold and the wild few are still trying to put out the fires and create a brave new world. They are refugees from World War III, climate change, and many such catastrophic events. But they are creative, they are relentless, they are unapologetic in their commitment to do whatever it takes to bring stability and sanity to the world order. They follow the North Star with stunning clarity in their vision. They wish to rewrite and re-engage in a new American experiment. This is humanity's last stand. The group's name is, the acronym is COW, C-O-W, the Coalition of the Willing. And they are the last of the Mohicans. They are the new Avengers, and they are a ragtag gang of happy and hardened warriors. Their forefathers have served proudly in all the three branches of the government and in all the uniformed services in US and abroad. They have been leaders and volunteers in private and non-profit sectors. So I'm going to name the founding team of this new American experiment. And these are code names for security purposes, and they bear no resemblance to any real persons or entities. The first one is, this guy has fought a lot of legislative battles for term limits in the Congress, and his code name is the Terminator. The second one is, and he's going to be part of the legislative. The second one, code name is Sitting Bull. He's been a roaring bull on Wall Street, and he isn't going to take bull from no one. And he is going to be in charge of the finance portfolio. Then we have Jimmy Neutron. He's an International Space Station alumni. And Turbocharge is one of his colleagues. They're part of the science and technology portfolio. Then we have Forrest Chump. He's going to handle the environmental portfolio. Okay? And there is an UU minister. She's a well-traveled soul in many cultures and countries. She has fought for the indigenous people in the rainforests of the Amazon. Her name is after the Hindu goddess Saraswati, which is the goddess of learning and wisdom. This is a UU minister who is going to be in charge of the health and human services. And then we have Handshake and Peacenik, again code names, who are going to be part of diplomacy. Then we have Judge Jack and Jill, who will lead the Department of Justice. Then we have the defense portfolio is going to be held by Red Alert, Hotline, and 007. And the cultural and the diversity coalition is going to be handled by Redneck, Black Tie, Green Thumb, Brown Sugar, Olive Oil, and Yellow Jacket. And one of the founding team members, this is new and unique because this is, remember, a century later. We have the drones and the Robocops. We have Aquadroid, we have Solaris 2, and Heavenly One. They maintain surveillance and control over marine and all the other worlds. So the Declaration of Interdependence, this is the framework now. We, the surviving species on planet Earth, humans, robots, plants, animals, marine life, painfully acknowledge that the advent of human progress has created insufferable conditions. And as it has become incumbent on us to reaffirm the following evident truths. This is a century later, remember that. The framework is, number one, remember in the original one, all men are created equal. In this one, it is that differences of race, color, and creed are natural, and that diverse groups, institutions, and ideas are both necessary and stimulating factors in the evolution and development of man. This is a vast change from all men are created equal. Second, that to promote harmony in diversity is a responsible task of religion and statesmanship. Third, to understand and resolve issues requires paying respect and attention to a multiplicity of viewpoints, including those views that differ from our own. Fourth, the testimony of history, intolerance is a door to violence, brutality, and dictatorship. Number five, that the realization of human interdependence and solidarity is the best guard of civilization. We got to be able to live and let live. All nations are interconnected, and no nation is an island unto itself. The production and supply chains are complex, and they are spread across the world. Calamity or disruption in any one part of the world impacts us all. So this gives rise, because we have had a very confrontational, a war-hungry mindset, but this gives rise to a creative and collaborative leadership mindset which benefits us all. And the founding team has picked a few nations as models. And one of the models they have picked is Japan. Japan was an imperial power, and Japan had a devastation, but it rose through the devastation as a miracle. It has seen tsunamis, nuclear devastations, etc. So, and of course, it is has invested always in manufacturing, science, and technology. It has invested in public transit and infrastructure. And it is a peace-loving nation. One of the few other models that I'm not going to go in much detail they've picked is Canada. We got to learn from our neighbor in healthcare and energy. Singapore is a hub of trade, finance, and technology, and it leads a multi-ethnic coalition. India for spiritual and cultural guidance. Sweden and Denmark for environmental leadership. And then Vietnam again, because this is a nation that has again rose from the ashes, and it's an emerging economic powerhouse. So there are many proposals in front of the founding team. One of the things is they want to rename the White House as a lighthouse for a kinder and a gentler world. Mount Rushmore to be renamed as Mount Less is More, to prepare us for an age of austerity. So anyway, these are the proposals. So in conclusion, I would like to point out what is a statistical average span of an empire. Okay, the statistical span of an empire is anywhere from 2 to 5 centuries. And I'll give you an example. The Roman Empire, 5 centuries. Spanish Empire, 5 centuries. The Mughal Empire in India, 2 centuries. The British Empire in India, 3 centuries. America is already at 2.5 already. So think about it. And then now we are seeing the rise of China and India. The writing is in the wall. Both of them have billions of people, plus younger folks in the 25 to 40 range. And they're investing in infrastructure, health, safety, public transit, education, technology. Go figure. Coupled with this, on top of this, we are in the process of turning the clock back on progress. And I'll give you a little snapshot, what I call the circle of history. And this is pertaining mostly to European and American history. So if we say in the circle, we are at the Crusades, okay? So from the Crusades to the Age of Enlightenment, it's a span of 10 years because you went through the Renaissance, the Protestant Reformation, the Age of Exploration, and then the Age of Reason, the Age of Enlightenment, which influenced the American and the French Revolution, okay? So now, with the policies and the practices that are being put in place, we are actually turning back the clock. So this is going to have a devastating impact. So now here is in my conclusion, the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu had said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Are we going to change our course? Single step. And one of my favorite poets, Robert Frost, he had written, "The Road Not Taken." And I'm just quoting a little bit from the poetry. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. What road will we choose? Is America ready to take the first step? Oh, America the beautiful, what road will we choose? War, disease, inequality, a continuous never-ending stream of suffering, or a reckoning and reconciliation with the past, peace, progress, and an ocean of tranquility. What road shall we choose, O America the beautiful? Thank you.